Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the people who were not on at 11 o'clock. We're going to cover a lot of the work again, and then a few more things. Let's just wait for more people to come on board. See, Andries is on as well. Mirio, was translation all right? Did I send you? Did Mirio fall asleep?
Just doesn't want to speak to you, probably.
Maybe not. Scary stuff. Maybe I typed one word wrong. Finnish is not my first language. There's Rocky on, right? We're 9 people. We are recording, so let's carry on. There's a lot of things that I need to.
Did you ask me a question? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I ran around while I was coming onto the Zoom.
Yes, was the translation good enough?
Yes, it's very good. Yeah, I mean, I didn't read it word by word. I was busy with other things as well. But yeah, I think we could help you become a presenter for the Finnish presentations. Would that be all right?
Not a chance.
I'm trying.
Do you really think they will let me loose on the whole of Gift of Legacy?
I don't know. It's just trying to find new presenters. Sari and Krista are the only ones at the moment. Yeah. And so just something else. I don't know if I did the right thing. Stefan, I've just sent you a message about the caravan board. There's a lady who says she wants to leave the board. And I said to her, she would rather contact you to see if you've got someone to take over her position, but she hasn't responded.
Yeah, if she wants to hand over, we can make it a sponsor profile. That's fine. The whole caravan was originally for sponsoring a group of people in, which then got haywire because they took chances with us.
Yes. So anyway, so I've sent you the pictures, and I hope she will respond or will contact you.
No, I'll have a look. I'll have a look after the
thank
call.
you.
Let's quickly go through what we did 11 o'clock. I posted in the groups, in the training group and in the main submarine group, a little document. You can go open it. It's in Word format. Basically, if you want to work on a board, irrespective of what position you are in, if it's legend, guide or builder, doesn't matter. You send me a direct message asking me to open a board group for you. You will also have to send a photo of the board without any information blocks. You will have to send me a photo of the information block of the legend and one of your own profile. I will then go check on the file where it's sitting and mark it that we're working on the board. I will create the group by adding Liana as an admin, Festina as an admin who can add other admins because it eventually takes over ownership of those profiles or those groups. And then you will be added. If I can't add you at that stage, I abandon. Then I don't open a group. I'm not going to send you a message that I'm not opening the group. If I can't add you, you will not have a group. Basic as that. We are scammer free now for 4 months in our groups. If somebody contacts you with a hi, where are you from? They're not in our groups. They come from the main GL group. We are scammer free. So don't ask me to open a group if your settings is such that I can't add you. If I'm not one of your contacts, I can't add you. Make sure that you are able to be added. Otherwise, I don't open the group. But we will then ask the person who requested the group to be formed that they add the other people. I may add 1 or 2 myself, but go check who's not on and add them in the group. If they can't be added, send them an invite link. Anybody can send an invite link from the little groups. Go to the top. You click on the plus with that little man thingy. And then there's a button where you can press invite link. It gets copied and you send it to the person and tell him what the group is about. That is in short how we start the groups. Then we've got different strategies depending on what goes on the group. If all 7 people are on there, like they're supposed to be, because everybody logged in frequently, then we start talking in the group. I'm leaving you alone. You decide what you want to do. You can invite, you can sponsor in, you can take another position yourself. And as you fill the board, we will start assisting. If you need a person to be sponsored in, contact me. I will allocate one from the file. We've got a long file. There's still 13 individuals, and there's two groups, one for a charity and one for a person who is getting a group of us on board, where we have a assist with the profiles up to the silver board level and then hand it over. So there is people to sponsor. Quickly on sponsorships, if you feel that you want somebody to be sponsored in because they don't have a gift ready, but they know how gifting works and they've seen recordings or been on live Zoom calls, we can put them on the list. There's a little agreement that they fill out, and I'll probably call them and make sure why they want to be sponsored. We are not scared to sponsor people. Even if you've got one profile already, somebody called me or send me a message, they've got one profile, is there a possibility to get more for a family? We can do that. There's no limit on the amount of profiles per person or per family. People, make sure when you get on the call that you mute yourselves. So those people can be sponsored in by the sponsorship funds, or people who, instead of taking a position every month, wants to sponsor somebody in every month. We've got a lot of people like that. If you are happy with 1 or 2 profiles and you want to sponsor other people in, assist other people to get on board, make sure that they're what's the calls. I'll ask them a few questions, make sure then that we add them in the correct groups, following the procedures which has been posted, get them in the right groups, make sure they're legit, and then we get them on a board. That's what, when there's 7 members on, we'll work like that. If there is one builder short somewhere, strategy differs a little bit. If number 1 and 3 builder is short, we will put somebody on the board and the legend is going to confirm. It will most probably be a Seeds of Love, Auxilio, or a new subline profile. New subline is sponsorship profiles that I'm managing. Some people ask me about my amount of profiles. The Angel Guide profiles, Deep Dive 1 up to wherever they go, is all profiles we're going to use in future to sponsor people in. They're moving steadily up the boards, and they will soon be in a position to sponsor as well. New subline is sponsorship profiles. It's not my own. So that one will be confirmed. When we start working on the board, means we need 8 open positions. Now, if builder number 2 is open or builder number 4, the strategy differs a little bit, but you will still have 8 open spots. The legend will still receive 8 gifts. So I'll fill everything up for you till there's 8 spots open, then you start working on the board. Easy as that. Every new gifter, when you land on the board, send me a photo of your info block in the group so that we can keep the file updated. It's very important that we keep the file in sequence, irrespective of what level we're working on, that I have the people's name there so that when it's time to work on their boards, that I know who the legend is. That is concerning the photos. Same procedure when the last gift is received. You let the group know, the little board group, that we finished now, and then everybody can leave the group. The last one will be me to leave. I will hand over ownership to Festina. She will archive it for future reference if we need it. You then post a photo of the board with 1 gift outstanding in the legend group, and from there I'll guide you to your version 2 profile. Now the version 2 profile usually happens when you received all your gifts, but there is some legends who I'm going to place on the perpetual board with a version 2 profile before that, even if they're only half a board full. We will accommodate that for various reasons. Sometimes a legend can only receive in Bitcoin, and 6 or 7 of the people on the board don't have a Bitcoin wallet. I will then receive those gifts and then hand it over or gift the legend on the perpetual board with the version 2 profile. Right, I need somebody to quickly talk while I take a 2-minute break. Rocky, tell people something nice quickly. I'm going to mute myself. I'll be back in 2 minutes. There's somebody at my door.
There's somebody at your door. That's very rude in the middle of a Zoom. I don't know why you chose me to speak to everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I think we're all looking forward on the normal gift of legacy for the shake of the tree and the consolidation of the boards. Certainly, I've got several boards on the gift of legacy side of things, and none of them have moved. I'm looking after about 70 to 80 profiles, and yeah, there's been very, very little movement. And fortunately, most of the space fillers have gone. I think there's still one or two there. But yeah, I think as long as we keep together and we work together and we keep supporting Captain, I think that we will get there. It might take us a bit longer than we anticipated, but yeah, I think we'll all get there in time. So I think we need to be patient and just keep working on it diligently and work together. And then the Captain is back. Welcome back, Captain.
Yeah. I'm back. Yeah, if everybody works together, there was a poster in one of the GL groups. They're going to have an announcement on Tuesday as to when the system will go down for compression. We should then have boards with at least 7 people on. I did find a few boards. Like in the previous call, I said, I was in a legend position. My 2 NYTs, it was in the first week, landed on different boards where they were not supposed to land. We left it at that. And now this board ended up with me in legend on the second cycle with 1 guide on the left-hand side. I immediately generated 4 links, of which I took 2 for myself, and I gave 2 to other people, and I took another profile on the right-hand side, sending out a link to somebody that I sponsored in. I then confirmed on the left position 2 and 4, who trickled up to Boulder. That's the 2 people I sponsored in. So I'm sitting there with 2 profiles in the gifter position, which I can later hand over to charities or other people. And on the right-hand side, we've got 1 Boulder that moved up. And then from there, it moved up to guide. From there, then I sent out 3 more links in total. Didn't confirm anything. I then phoned the people and said, okay, there's your links, register, I will confirm. So then we fill the other 2 Boulder positions, and then there's 1 left. So there's still space for 3 gifts to be received in future. So they can now carry on working on the board. There's various ways to do that. But once the compression is finished, we'll have a better idea of where you're sitting on those boards. And I'd trickle up, basically, always remember your Boulder 1 and 3, when they send an invite link out, it lands below them in position 1 or 2 or 5 and 6. If there's no Boulder and we send out a link from the guide position, there can be a trickle up because there's no Boulder in position 1 or 5, 1 or 3. But if Boulder number 2 is missing, and you do send out a link either from the Boulder 1 or the guide, they will land in position 1. There's no trickle up then. So the way that we work the boards is there must be 8 open spots on the board. Now we're trying to finish as many of them with open spots before compression so that we can get the board ready when we work on the board. But we are going to miss people. We've got 1,400 submarine first boards open. Over 1,400. I'm not going to get to all of them. I am going to open a lot of chat groups for a lot of boards, just so that they can get a photo. If there's 7 on, that group lies there till we start working on it. If somebody is on that board that got a bit of experience, I will ask them to add the other people so long in the group. And maybe they start working on it. We have currently 112 open boards that we're working on. And they're going fast. There's some boards who are just waiting for the last gift. There's some boards who wait for 1 gifter, or maybe 2 that we must still load. Always remember, we try to load 1 at a time. People are not always so experienced. It takes time to get comfortable with the system. And people register, 1 register before the other. So we do 1 position at a time. but there is exceptions. This morning, there was one group where the person that's going to send out the links from 3 different boulder positions knows exactly what to do. So I said, you can send 5 links and get your people on board. All that I do when the screenshot comes in on the group, we capture it on the file in the right sequence. But if you're not really that clued up with how Trickle Up works and how board placement works, then we do them one at a time. Again, don't tell me about your travel arrangements in the group. Don't tell me about your work pressure. Don't tell me about your child that had to be fetched at school. It takes 3 minutes to generate the invite link. If I request a link, I want that link. If you register, it takes a maximum of 6 minutes to register. You can't tell me it takes more than 6 minutes. If Gift of Legacy is important for you, you will make the time. You will create that 6 minutes, even if you do it during a coffee break. Don't come with travel arrangements and work pressures in a group. I'm not interested in that stuff. I don't want to know where you travel around and which traffic jams you were sitting in. I'm responsible to get that board closed. That is my main concern. You can't do that while you sit at the Shell Ultra City having coffee and playing on your phone with other things. You can register in that time while you're doing coffee. So if a board don't move, I'm going to start calling you. You don't want me to call you. I'm a very rude person most of the time. Right, compartment strategy quickly. We have 3 boards where the legend is in compartment 17. We're still busy with 14. What happened there, a compartment 14 board got filled on both sides, and the left hemisphere with the new legend decided then, who is then a compartment 15 legend, to work on the board. They filled half the board. So that legend, the guide, becomes a legend on compartment 16. They then worked on the board and filled the whole board, creating 2 new legends on level 17 or compartment 17. And both those legends decided they want to work on the board, and they're busy filling that board. One of them is going to finish soon, and then we'll take them to compartment 18. And then there's one that I worked through to compartment 17 as well with half board splits. I'm not going to today discuss the board splitting and the half boards and who goes where, but what's important, if you work on your board, there's movement. If you don't work on your board, there's not going to be movement. Various ways to fill your board. Number 1, you invite. Invite. Do it the right way and invite people, new people. Or you can take a position yourself, or you can decide to sponsor somebody in from the sponsor file. And then if a board fills fast and there's one position open and the sponsor fund's got gifts that are coming in, the sponsor fund will sponsor somebody in the last position. There was even one, they filled the 6 positions in a question of 3 hours. And Liana then sponsored one in from her sponsor fund, and I sponsored another one from my own money. So that's the ways to finish the board. The sponsored positions, I did speak a little bit about that earlier on. Important to remember, if you want to be sponsored, you need to fill out an agreement form. The people need to understand, if you get sponsored in, or if you take a normal position on the submarine, when you reach your perpetual legend position on your bronze board, that's your second bronze board, you committed to take a position on one of the other vehicles. There is some changes going to come in future that will also create more flow on the other vehicles, except from the ones that Liana sponsored in and our sponsor funds and the people who took their committed positions. Nothing is ever standing still. There's always a way to work things. And with the volume that we currently got of over 10,700 people or profiles on the submarine, that will eventually start having a more visible effect on the other vehicles. It's not that we're not looking. I look every day at every single file of all the vehicles, Tracks, Cruise, Caravan, Eagles, and the Dream Community Project. We are committed to those vehicles. And we also, from the start, we said the reason for the Dream projects is to go assist your migrated boards. If after compression, you see there's a possibility to sponsor somebody in on your board with gifts that you receive on the submarine, you can do that. Remember, it's a perpetual bronze board, gives you $700 in gifts. A silver board gives you 1,200. A perpetual silver board gives you 2,800. You can easily take one of those gifts and go help on an old board. I can guarantee you at least one person on every single board where there's a migrated profile knows somebody who wants to get on board but don't have a gift ready. Why must we hamper them? If they know the system, if they've been on the Zoom calls, if they can answer a few basic questions so that we make sure they understand how Gift of Legacy works, sponsor them in. I will assist you with that. I think that's more or less everything. We've got 7 boards open that still worked on the boarding calls. There's 3 that I got responses for that we're going to close. I want those 7 boards closed by Monday morning, 9 o'clock. If I send a message and I tag you in a group and you don't respond today, you will get a phone call. I work through Saturday nights. Your phone call will be 2 o'clock in the morning. If I must work to get you to financial freedom and to assist you to get to rescue yourself, you'll get a phone call in the middle of the night. I don't care if you sleep, I'll call you. And I'll call you from all 22 phones and I'll put my computer on repeat call till you answer your phone. If I ask you a question in a group, answer. If I ask for a photo, put the photo in the group. What is so difficult about it? It takes 3 minutes. Do your part and I'll do my part 10 times over. Just pick up my pen before I lose it somewhere. Just one more thing, version 2 profiles. I still find people who don't understand what version 2 is. Version 2 is basic. The Legend sponsors you in on your profile with $87.50. When you in Legend, you sponsor your gifters in. You don't have $400 for the silver board. You're going to land on one of mine, one of Liana's, or one of Landy's sponsor profile boards. We will remove you from that silver board. You take your $100, we open a version 2 profile for you on a perpetual board. We're working down a file in sequence. We're currently on number 101, seat 101. Between 101 and 120, there's a few boards I'm going to skip because the person responsible for the Legends is refusing to answer my phone calls. We're going to skip 16 boards and then carry on with 120. Till that person answers my phone calls. So her people is going to struggle. Sorry for them. If you don't cooperate, then we can't work with you. So we'll carry on then from 121 onwards. There's 2 boards that we're going to finish soon, which then going to go to silver. And with the current open boarding calls, the 7 plus 1 more of the ones that people are working on their own gives you another one that can go through to silver. So there's a possibility of 3 more silvers this week. Easy as that. Version 2 is not rocket science. You register with a new email address, new username, put a V2 behind your name, and then you're on a perpetual board. We work the board in such a way that we try our best to leave at least 3 submarine profiles in the original niche on the board, so that when the invitees come through, it can help push the version 2 up. And then the next level, we'll get the version 2's invitees in as a version 2 profile, or the sponsor profiles will sponsor people in there. Or some people requested that they be loaded on a perpetual board, and that's a way that you move up. When you get to guide, we get your 2 invitees in. If you reach Legend and they're not in yet, then we work around that and possibly create 1 link for yourself, or you sponsor somebody in. Easy. It is not rocket science. It's submarine science, which is very soon going to become track science and cruise science and caravan science and eagle science. You will be shocked to hear how good it is actually going with Gift of Legacy. People are understanding now, if you don't commit to logging in at least every 30 days, what is it to struggle? Rocky, you don't have so many profiles. What, you've got 38. How many board chat groups are you now? I didn't even put you on all 37 yet. Log in every week on your profile. I've got a file. I made a file this morning for Andries. Andries is on the call. Andries, how's that file looking? Can you work on that?
It's looking great. Thanks, Stefan. I'm definitely going to start working today.
Yeah, it's a basic, simple file. I like colors. I worked with logistics for a great part of my life. I like colors. You put your username in, and there's a space on the right-hand side for your password and your email address. You've got a space where you mark which position it is on what board. It's color-coded. It changed to blue and green and whatever colors we use. It's got a space to say how many invitees you've got in. If you're short, it will show you with colors that is invitee short. It will show you, you enter there how many people short on your board, what's the date of the board, and that is also color coded. The date that you check the profile, if it's not been checked in for a week, it becomes yellow. That means go check in the profile. Log in. Login procedure is very easy. It is not a requirement to go to the board chat. But why be stupid? Who didn't watch Thursday's motivational call? What was it about? We changed it from don't be stupid to be wise. Be wise. Go to the bronze board chat and type in the date. You don't even have to say hi. Just type in 5 November 2022. If you're on a silver board, go to the silver board chat and type in the date as well. And then log out so the system register that you were there. Nothing funny about it. Easy as pie. Right, I'm finished for now. We've got about 8 minutes left for questions. Who's got any good questions for us?
Captain,
Hello,
let
Stefan.
me, oh, sorry.
Christine, you first, you can talk.
Go ahead.
All right.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Hi, Christine.
I just wanted to ask about, there is a board that we opened in September. I'm just asking over my head. It was supposed to be a bronze board. We took slots on it. It was just a I don't know whether it was a one-time off, and it went very well that first day. In fact, it flipped over in 2 days, and then it got to a place where it went silent. So are we waiting for a trickle in, or people were supposed to be just taking slots on that board, but it went quiet? It was
Yeah,
opened
there's two
on
ways.
14.
There's two ways that that board will get filled. Remember,
Okay.
we do need original submarine lineage profiles on the board. So if you move
Okay.
up to Boulder, the idea is that the next invitees of the people that is in guide come through to the board. And then we also
Okay.
load 2 version 1s. Sorry, 2 version 2 profiles there. Or other people that want positions on a perpetual board. The challenge we've got, we cannot run out of submarine lineage profiles on the board. We try to leave at least 3 there. So when the next people land on there, it will most probably be the invitees of the 2 guides. And once they're in place, then I can load version 2 to fill the board. Then you move up to guide position. Your new legend
right.
is then in the submarine lineage. And then 2 of the builders is also then in the submarine lineage. So that's another 3 that can pull their 6 people through. That's the way we work it. So it will look like it's standing still for some time till the next bunch come in. And once there's 2 positions filled on each side, I can load more version 2s there, because when there's a split and you move up, those 2 submarine lineage profiles move to Boulder, then 1 on each side. And that will pull the rest of the people through to push you to legend.
All right. I get it.
Good. Andries, I think you also had a question that you want to ask something.
That's correct. Good day, everyone. Stefan, it's on your previous training call on the monthly committed contracts.
Mhm.
I don't have a specific date or amount of people that I need to sponsor in, or when. I just wanted to find out whether you as per your training call, you said that each position that you take, you need a separate contract. Could you just clarify on that, please?
That is if you want to be sponsored. If you are on the monthly committed list, you already did a contract somewhere along the line. So then I sort the file according to date. We had a big issue that we are busy working through. We had 6 boards directly after each other. We did not close, and a lot of people with their committed positions were on those boards. So I'm working to finish those boards by Monday, so that the people that took positions or sponsored people in at the end of September can now take their October spots. And the way that it's working now, where people are actually working together on the boards, they will be on a board and marked as gifted. And then we will change their date then to the end of November. So end of November, then they take their next spot. It's very time consuming to do the monthly file because you need to go make sure that that person is actually on the board and it was gifted. That's why we open groups for all those older 7 old boarding calls that's not finished yet. And it looks like there's just another message that came through. It looked like 3 of them will be resolved by tomorrow morning. So there's quite a few people on the committed list. I think we're on 112, if I remember correctly. A lot of people said they want to sponsor in, so they also on there. Make sure with Festina, if you want to sponsor 2 positions in a month, that it is marked as 2. If you want to sponsor 1 in, it's marked as 1. If you take a position for yourself, that is marked for 1 or 2, or how many positions you want to take.
No, thank you, Stefan.
Welcome. Right, any other questions? Raquel, I see you on. You early. Did you have breakfast yet? Raquel is going to use the excuse that she's far from me. She can't hear me. Right, Rocky, I don't think you've got any questions. I want to target somebody here. George, I banned you from asking questions in the first training call. We've got 8 minutes left. I know you've got a question for me. Try to make it difficult.
Okay. Me,
Okay, George, I think there's a signal issue on your side. You don't come through very clearly.
right,
George,
is
can
that
you hear us? Just put a thumb up so I know you can hear me. We can't hear you very clearly.
I can hear you now, Stefan. Can you hear me?
Ah, yeah, there is better. Better. Do you have a good question for me?
Okay. Basically, Stefan, I'm on my second version, or the first perpetual that I'm on. For the last couple of weeks, the legend is gone. And there's just this blank spot and nothing's happening. We did send stuff through to support. And I'm very keen to get that board moving, but that's definitely going to be taken over by, what is it, GGM, eh?
No, it's not going to be definitely taken over by GGM. There's a new profile of GGM sitting in legend number 227. I do think they realize it's maybe a little bit too much to manage. I was told during the week very confidentially that during the compression, there will be a trickle up of guides to legend. So wait after the compression happens. If that board is still without a legend, send it to me. I'll escalate to get a legend in there.
Cheers. Thank you so much. That was my only question.
But there is a good chance that one of the guides, and most probably because the system is built to prefer the left side, because that's where number 1 gifter is, the left guide will most probably become a new legend. And then with compression, the new builders that gets added on that board will then work on the boards.
Okay. With the compression one, that doesn't include the, will the whole board be filled with extra gifters as well, or is it just up to builder?
No, only up to the builder position. They want every board that is not full yet to be at least full with 7 members, 1 legend, 2 guides, and 4 builders. That is a workable board. Remember in the startup when we migrated, what I told everybody on the boards that I assisted with, legend get 2 people in, guides get 1 each, builders 1 each, so that everybody at least got 1. After the split, the legend is well away onto silver, and the 2 new legends then only need to send 1 invite link out, and then you start working the board. That's where we started then sending out links from the gifter position. Because if you got a legend with 1 invitee on and 2 guides with 1 each, that's 3. And then each of the builders only get 1 person, then we still need 1 short. Most of the time, the builders, one of the 4 builders got the 8th person on board. But if they only get 1 in at that stage and they still find it difficult to get the second one in immediately, we started advising the gifters to also invite. And then after the board split, well, the new legend also got their twos in, then the builders move up to guide, and then they work on their second person. It's all just depending on how many invitees each one got. Do remember that right at the start, and I've still got two or three profiles like that, where the system allocated 2 gifters, 2 invitees, which was not really true. My uncle's got a profile like that. He's sitting on a board of 6 January, and the gifters are full, and the legend refused to remove them. Now they started not logging in, so they'll be removed. So my uncle can now send out 2 invite links once there's open spots. The system shows us 2 invitees, but he didn't invite anybody because the board was full. He couldn't get them placed on the board. So he said he's not going to invite them until there's space on the board. It's all little things that we need to look at. Each board must be treated individually. Each board is unique. It's very easy to say we've got a submarine board where there's 7 people on, all 4 the builders are there. But every board differs. Some of those builders may be the same person. People who took more than one profile at the same time. So we may sit on the one side with a builder with profile number 4 and profile number 5. So we need to work. You can't expect that person now to bring 4 people in immediately. That's where everybody on the board group chat must have patience. We're going to assist that builder, even if we need to sponsor people in. And on the other side, then you may have to do, we even got a board where all 4 builder positions are the same person. And then we work with them. We sponsor people in, we get some from a monthly list, people who want to sponsor in, and we help to fill that board and get it split. You'll be shocked of how many of your profiles are going to move to legend position now soon, because we're working on the boards we're sitting in guide.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, most of my boards, all of mine on guide at the moment. Great. Thank you,
They're going to
Stefan.
move. I watch the boards every day. You've been added to a few groups, I know.
Yeah, fantastic. No,
But
thanks for your
I'm also
assistance.
severely shocked, and I'm speaking very earnestly and harshly to you now. You did not request for me from your side to open one single chat.
Out of the 120, yeah, it's been a
On how many
crazy
chat
couple
groups
of
are
weeks
you,
on my
George?
side.
On how many chat groups are you?
Well, the submarine is 4 at the moment.
4 out of 120.
Yeah.
Go
And,
select 2
yeah,
more boards and send me the details so I can open chat groups for you.
fantastic. We'll do it. No, definitely. It's my first weekend off really in a long time, so.
I don't want to
make
hear
work of
about
it.
your private life, George. I don't want to hear about your travel arrangements or your work. I'm concerned about your board. That's what God
Fantastic.
told me to do. Concern yourself with Gift of Legacy for 3 years. Build the boards. If you travel, go take a coffee break if it's required to send a link. But get those requirements in. Request a group, send me a photo of the board, send me a photo of the legend, information block, and your information block. I'll open the group. You add the rest of the people in there. You can watch group chats once a day. Spend 20 minutes on the chats. I've got 112 of those to go through every day. What is it to do 6? You're a clever man, George.
Exactly.
Work the system. Work with
Exactly.
me and I'll work with you.
Fantastic. We'll give it a good go as from today. Thanks, Stefan. Dankie.
Good, good. Yeah, get yourself in 6 gear. These modern cars all got 6 gears. They move like lightning. And that's what we're going to do here. The submarine tracks, everything is going to move soon. We have got 112 boards we're working on. It was 4 months ago when we were last on that number of boards we're working on. And even if you take 1 profile a week, 8 weeks, the board is full. We've got a minute to go. The first recording is already on YouTube. Go watch it. Please let the videos play through to the end so that we can get watch time. We're approaching the 4,000 hour mark. And then we can start making money there. I can sponsor more people in. Unmute yourself, shout bye. See you all at 7 o'clock tonight, South African time, 1 p.m. Eastern Seaboard time, America.
Blessings.
Bye. Bye, everybody. See you tonight.
Bye.
Bye.